This video continues our discussion of basic graphing calculator techniques that can be used for graphing linear functions. Have your graphing calculator handy so you can do the steps with me. Let's graph y equals negative 8x minus 200 for x values from negative 10 to 10. Again, we first analyze the function's equation for important information. We know this is a linear function because it's in the form of y equals mx plus b, with a slope of negative 8 and a y-intercept of negative 200. The line will fall from the left to right because of the negative slope. And the y values will be very negative for x values close to 0. So using the Zoom 6 standard window will not be helpful. Let's try it anyway and see what we get. So again, we're going to press y equals, and we'll enter negative 8x. Now this time, we're going to use the negative key, not the subtraction key, as we enter negative 8x. So I use this key down here. Now we're going to take away 200. So it's negative 8x minus 200. So I'm going to use the subtraction key, 200. Okay, so negative key to get negative 8x, subtraction key to take away 200. And we have negative 8x minus 200. If we press Zoom 6 like we did in the previous example, you'll notice nothing appears on our window. The y values when x goes from negative 10 to 10 are out of the negative 10 to 10 range of the standard window. So let's use the table feature of the calculator to find a good range, just as we did in the Graphing Part 1 video. Again, we want to make sure the function's equation is typed in the y equals screen. So we press y equals. There's our equation. Because the calculator can only generate a table if it has the equation. Now we can go through the steps to obtain the table of values. We can press second and window to access the table set menu. And again, we're going to start at negative 10, and we're going to count by increments of 1. So next we press second and the graph key to access the table menu. And you can see we start from negative 10. I'm going to scroll up once or twice to see what happens as x becomes more negative. So okay, I see. At x equals negative 10, my y value is negative 120. And as x approaches positive 10, oops, I went too many times. When x is positive 10, my y is negative 280. So let's leave ourselves a little room, and we'll say the y minimum is at negative 300, and our y maximum, I'm going to scroll back to negative 10, we'll use negative 100 for our y maximum. So we go back to our window, and I want to set the window using the table information. So I press the window key, and my my x min and x max are fine, still counting by 1. My y min, however, we said we're going to use negative 300, and our y max, we're going to use negative 100. Now again, when we go from negative 10 to 10 counting by 1s, that will give me about 20 tick marks. If we go from negative 100 to negative 300 on the y-axis, counting by 1s, that's an awful lot of tick marks. So we should change our scale. And we'll count by 50s. Okay, we press the graph key. And here's our graph. So now we see the graph from the left edge of the screen to the right edge of the screen from x equals negative 10 to 10. But you'll notice we don't see the x-axis on the screen. These dots show the scale of the x-axis, but the x-axis is actually somewhere up here. If we want to include the x-axis, we need to make our y maximum a positive number. So since our y scale was 50, we could make our y maximum positive 50, 1 tick mark above the 0. Let's try it. So I press window, and I scroll down to y max, and we're going to make this a positive number, say 50, and we graph again. So again, you'll notice that we're counting on the x-axis by ones from -10 to +10, but on the y-axis, we're counting by increments of 50. So this would be 50, 0, -50, -100, and so forth. So the two graphs we obtained are really the same graph, just shown in different windows. There are many correct windows. So once again, we see how using the table to obtain y minimum and y maximum values for the graph window for linear functions is very helpful. We can use the table feature no matter what x values we choose to use. Thank you for watching.